Asexuality is a sexual orientation that's based on a lack of sexual attraction. It's important you understand that. And it makes me infuriated when I see movies that portray asexuality as basically something where you're just not having sex for a specific period of time due to some other thing like grief or trauma or upset or pain and feeling guilty and all this lot. That's not asexuality. I've had guys before now that I met a long time ago on dating sites, and they're like, oh, I haven't had sex for like 8 months. I'm asexual too. I'm like, no, you're not. Asexuality is not the fact you've not had sex for 8 months for whatever reason. Oh, me and my partner don't have sex, so I'm having an asexual relationship. I'm like, you're not asexual just because you haven't had sex with your partner. This is not asexual. This is just you not having. So please stop portraying asexuality as something it's not. There's no wonder there's a lot of people that don't understand asexuality when you got it portrayed incorrectly in movies. And people think it's just like you're not having sex because you're either frigid or you're a virgin or you're abstaining, you're in celibacy, you have no partner, you haven't dated in years, you've got a dead partner, so you haven't had sex. You haven't had sex for whatever reason for multiple years or months. That's not asexuality. So just like heterosexual, bisexual, pansexual, homosexual are sexual orientations, asexuality is also a sexual orientation. And to put someone in a movie that's grieving for their husband and say, I'm completely asexual because they're not having sex, conflates and confuses people, conflates the idea of asexuality being directly as a result of the fact that someone's not having sex for whatever reason for a number of years, because in this case they're grieving for their dead husband. And by conflating asexuality with the idea that, oh, someone hasn't had sex for a while and they don't want it, that's asexuality, is not. Conflating these things is really bad. It's bad representation for asexuality. It's bad for people to understand asexuality because they're not going to. They're just going to be like, oh, so I'm not having sex for a few years, like, because I just don't feel like it, or I'm still upset over my partner and me splitting up, so I'm not having sex, so I'm asexual. You're not asexual. It's not asexuality. Asexuality is not the same as having trauma or grief that's stopping you having sex. It's a genuine sexual orientation. I hope I've made that really clear.